Hello, my friends. I am here with Tori Hartman. And Tori has a beautiful energy, and we actually met at the convention just today.
Yeah, well, 2 days ago. We were introduced, and then I was like, hi, I didn't get to talk to you. So.
It's good energy, and she has done one of the best sellers. I mean, I'll let you tell them.
Well, the Chakra Wisdom Cards. And I can't open the box because we're sitting here, so
Okay.
I'll hold you open.
So tell us what these cards are, darling.
Well, I had a near-death experience over 30 years ago.
Wow.
And angels came and told me what I thought were like silly stories, if I'm being honest. And I mean, truthfully, they were all color-based, and I was like, what is this? So I shoved them in drawers, and I thought, leave it, because the angels wouldn't go away till I wrote them down.
Interesting. And this is something you're experiencing after the accident?
Yes. And
Okay, so you died and came back, or really? The whole white light, the whole tunnel, you're not ready yet, that whole thing?
Mm-hmm. I actually said, no, it's not my time, and I started fighting, which is my nature anyway. I'm always fighting.
You're a fighter.
So it's the Sag thing.
I love it.
And what happened was,
Ooh, these are pretty.
see, it's like, ooh, something shiny. We get distracted.
Oh, yeah,
it's like,
yeah. Leo rising. Ooh, pretty.
Are you Leo rising?
Yes.
Oh, I'm Virgo, like late Leo, early Virgo.
Okay.
And just so, for those of you who know this master right here, that means we see the world similarly.
Yes.
And when you have that, I always say what opposes exposes as well.
Yes.
And when you have, like, for example, I have Sun in the 4th, so
Okay.
I sit at home.
The 10th. So
See,
I sit at
we're
career.
opposite.
Yeah.
So
we're exposing right now.
Right, exactly. So
Very
he's
good.
feeling at home with me.
Yes.
Because he's in my 4th house.
And I'm taking her into my career, like, oh, what are you doing for a living, girl? I want to know all about your stuff. I'm like, what are you building? Like, oh, I like it. Ooh, I like that little.
Do you know what's interesting? You're attracted to that because
attracted to isolation.
Now,
if you guys want to know.
And by the way, even in the cards, what opposes exposes.
Okay.
And it means that you're ready. This is a ready card. The blue chakra is all about what we're going to manifest because we only manifest through what we communicate, right?
Right.
Because that's the energy going out to the world.
It's true.
So
And
this.
Taurus rules the throat, and Taurus is
And
I
you're-
manifest. So we use
Oh,
the
that's
throat to
interesting.
manifest, yes.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
You're so right.
Yeah, so you just affirmed the vocal part of it. You must speak it to create it. Just like God created, there was first the word, right?
And what's interesting too, and what you're saying, and we're both sitting here going, we look so tired. It's been 3 days of this. Like, okay, here, I'm going to take a nap now.
And the energy here is so...
It is. Can I tell you something? I had a friend just visit me, and she went, I got to get out. She walked right out. I was like, okay.
I have a psychic friend that came, and she's like, I can't do it, honey. 2 left. I was like, it's okay.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of, yeah.
Well, anyway, Blue, this is what I wanted to say, though. Even in cards, what opposes exposes.
Okay.
So when you look at the isolation card, and by the way, the power of that 5th chakra of Taurus is a powerful energy. It's a very, I'm here, it's that, and we send out the message even if we're not talking.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the whole idea. I mean, how many of us have walked in a store and the person's like ignoring you and angry? And
I always cite, well, I'll tell you, I cite powerful Taurus women as good examples. Cher, Barbara Streisand. Okay, both very powerful Tauruses. So, both those women enter the room before they enter the room.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's the power of Taurus expectation. Like, we can throw our intention out there to where people feel our intentions way ahead of time.
I wonder if that would be true, like if we sat down and looked at how astrology relates to chakra, because we're actually talking about that right now. And
I've studied a little bit of it.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. My mother was an astrologer.
Oh, no
so
kidding.
I
Wow.
kind of know it, and I know enough to make me dangerous.
Well, good. Be dangerous.
So I know enough to go, oh yeah, I know that Gemini, So one of the things I think is very interesting is how we relate to others in astrology is really about where they fall in our chart.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like how we see others. Some people go, gosh, for me, for example, Scorpios are so talky to me. They chat all the time because they're in my 3rd house of Gemini. So they come across and they walk up to me and they spill everything to me. And where people go, Scorpios are so hidden. I'm like, no, they're actually very talkative. But it really is based on what your rising sign is, how you're going to perceive the sign.
Yes, absolutely.
So you perceive them through your window, right?
Through
of
your window,
world.
yes.
And so the thing
And they law of attract themselves right in there.
Oh, and they do. Because
they like birds, they fly right in that window.
And so that's what's going to happen. You're going to see, like, some people go, gosh, I don't like Libras. And it's like, why? They're great, but it's...
Libras in their 12th, or Libras
right.
in their 8th.
And they, and also something else that I've really noticed lately is that 12th house is karmic people that come into my life to heal stuff. Yep. So a lot of the Leos in my life are there for fun, and they're in my 12th house.
Right.
Because it's fun and karma. Because karma can be fun stuff too. If you work too hard, you can have fun.
I actually think the story in my life so far, the story only gets interesting when the karma starts. That's the only time I like, otherwise I'm just sitting here doing shows.
That's trouble. Here comes trouble right in the door.
Well, no, it's like, oh, hey, from a past life, we were married and you left. Oh, cool, now something's going on in my life. Now I'm a little Jerry Springer. Now I got some stuff.
Oh my God! I know.
I'm like, oh, we were married? Oh, sorry. I did that? Oh, sorry.
Let me apologize now.
I'm so bad. What can I do? Free reading?
It's like, you kind of walk up to people going, I'm sorry right now for everything I'm about to do. And then, have done.
I have a good psychic friend, and she's always, she'll like come up to someone and I'll be like, what was going on with that person? She'll like, oh, it's one of those ladies I killed in that life. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, I was this queen, and one day I just had 2,000 women killed, and every now and then they come up and I have to heal them. I was like, well, I'm so glad you're over it. But it was so funny. She's so nonchalant. She's like, yeah, I did it.
Self-forgiveness.
Yeah, she's like, and I give them free readings. She's like, I totally take care of them now. I was like, so sorry I chopped off your head.
I'm glad I wasn't royalty in another life.
No kidding. Well, I was once. I think I have that past life memory. It's interesting because I think a lot of Leo energy in your chart is the past life memory of being worshipped and adored.
Oh, interesting.
And so, most people were poor and barely surviving. Mm-hmm. So if you've got a lot of Leo in your chart, you were rich or you were royal.
I think that's very true because I get along great with Leos. And they're always like, they sweep into the room.
Oh, yeah.
They just sweep in. And I always love it. I think it's fun because you get to bask in their sunshine. And then as the Sag, I'm always funny. So I keep them laughing so they don't get mad at me.
Yeah, I get the impression with your Virgo rising, this is coming cyclically, you probably were servants. You were their servant.
That
Virgo
could have
and
been.
Sag, just you're like a traveler, you came in, you served the royalty, and they are your past life best friends.
I think I have that anyway. I always tend to be around people that are all walks of life. And I'm just as comfortable with somebody who's extremely successful as someone who's like just starting out. Or,
and when's your birthday?
I'm December 19th.
Okay. I'm just wondering, which is...
Moon Capricorn.
Wow. And that is a very high Sag. That is a very high Sagittarius. That's a Grandmaster Sagittarius. Your sun probably conjuncts the galactic center. Are you familiar with that?
No, I don't know about that. It's interesting you're saying this
because the galactic center is 27 degrees now.
Oh,
it was 26 before the mind shift.
It is. I'm 27 degrees Sag.
So she dead conjuncts the galactic center.
Psychic, he's good.
Wow.
This is good.
So what that means is that this would be interesting for you, just a little free reading. Mm-hmm. So you're on a mission for God. Anyone who conjuncts the galactic center 100% came for God. You said to Creator, I'm going to do this, I'll take care of this for you, and Creator's like, good, I'm counting on it.
It's very interesting you're saying that because the Chakra Wisdom Cards was the first thing, and then the book came, the toolkit that you're holding, and I'm working on a book now, which is the third, it's the trilogy, it's the final one in this collection, because that one tells the full story about how the Great Spirit came to me and all of that, because I didn't want to get too woo-woo. I kind of felt like people, I didn't want to alienate people by telling them, hey, this is where it really came from. But I felt that if a product or a project can walk in the room without you and touch people, then it's the right thing. If you need to oversell it, it's not right.
Correct.
I
completely agree, and I think, if you allow law of attraction to happen, I mean, that's what you're saying. It's like, be what you are, see what gets attracted to it. Does a butterfly land on it or not? You know what I mean?
Well, and I think there's another thing too, and I think that people might find this interesting, which is that one of the things this taught me, and your projects, whatever you do, it has to help you grow.
Oh yeah.
And I found that for me, I learned that the chakra map in us.
Yes.
Is about an evolutionary conversation. We are evolving with our chakra.
I was
I was in Europe doing talks and stuff, and this one woman walked up to me. She's very into Reiki and British accent, brilliant, And she has this huge bloke standing next to her, which is her husband. And she said, I do Reiki, and I think it's fabulous. And she said, and my husband has a blocked third chakra. Huh. And I looked at him and I said, do you have a blocked third chakra? And he said, I don't know. That's what she tells me. It's like he doesn't know,
Right.
And I looked at him and I said, are you starting a new business? Are you in planning? Are you trying to figure things out? Because that's gut instinct thinking. That's the process. And he said, yeah, I am. I said, it's not blocked. It's just busy. Sometimes we jump to a conclusion that,
right.
oh, I have a block, and I think our blocks are suitcases that are not yet unpacked to give us the answer that we need for the next level. And I think we're too quick to try to get rid of something, and we run, I got to get rid of this. And I always say, whoa, 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 why? Why do you want to get rid of that? And they go, well, it's painful. Well, let's find out. You don't just go to a doctor, I have pain, and he goes, okay, let's get you on the operating table.
Right.
There's a process to it. And
Absolutely.
I think energetically, our blocks or our wounding becomes our greatest gift.
I completely agree. And astrology reflects the same thing. Mm-hmm. For instance, we have squares and oppositions in charts.
Right.
And squares and oppositions have always been thought of as negative things.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? In astrology, like, oh my God, you got two squares and not. But as I start to for me, I'm a psychic, so I look at a chart and I'm looking at the chart, but then I'm also getting the full Akashic.
You're getting the gift. You're seeing the picture.
And so I'm seeing what it is, and then I'm seeing how the planets drew it. And what I'm seeing is a lot of the squares are really temporary stints. It's like God put in a stint. It's like, and so like you said, a block. It's necessary. The client wasn't ready for the energy to flow around just yet.
You could have killed them.
The client needed it to all be stopped, and I help them relax. And by helping them relax, I think one of the tricks is you remind them that they can always get tight again if they want. You know what I mean? Like,
you can have your crap back. It's okay anytime.
Totally. It's like you want your fear back. You want to freak out. You can totally. It's just like, don't worry. You can always freak out again. So come down this relaxation with me and freak out whenever you want to. Let's go back to your cards real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Because you're obviously a fascinating Grandmaster Sagittarius who conjuncts the Galactic Center. I love the imagery. Who did all this?
Okay, it's so funny because of course you're psychic and you're going to say that. I found a gal on the internet. What happened was I was doing these mastermind groups, and finally somebody said you need an artist to draw these, and I found her on the internet, and I said, can you do this? I sent her the fables, and she said, sure, but it's going to take me a year. I said, I don't care. So every week in my inbox, I'd get a picture, and it fit the manuscript. And then I did the stupidest thing I could ever do. I spent my life savings, and I self-published it.
Okay.
But the stupid is actually brilliant, right?
Right, sure.
And I went to China, got it published, spent my life savings, and then I got it back to the States, and I found out how many 10,000 was. And it filled my lawn, my driveway, my backyard. Wow. I mean, it was amazing. And after I dropped to the ground and cried, and then I cried again because I found out if I sold it on Amazon, it would have cost me $1. And I was like, what do I do? They said, get a storage unit. Sometimes spirit is practical. So I got that. And then I said, now what? And I heard, give it away free.
Wow.
So I put it online as a shuffler, and people started coming to try it, and they bought it. Now, the reason that is important with the artist, everybody, is because 6 months to the day after I put it up on the shuffler online free, she died.
Oh, my God.
And she had said to me right before, she said, I feel like there's one more card, one more fable. And I said, I don't feel that. I feel like there's another spirit. And she said, I don't know. She's the spirit that was with these cards now. And the gift she gave us is one to find our path.
Wow.
So ultimately these cards became, and then of course I sold all 10,000 units on my website in 3 years.
Wow.
And then I went over to Watkins Publishing in the UK, and they publish it now. And it became #1 within the first month of putting it online. They put it on Amazon. They sell it now, and it has been a journey.
Beautiful. So tell me, how do these work, real simply, like in concept? Tell us how this works.
The first thing is, I think like anything else, you have to be attracted to them.
Oh, I'm attracted to this.
Okay,
I want to
so-
use them now, and I don't know how does one use them?
So where you go is the first thing you do is you just pull a card. Let's just pull a card, and you know it can be.
I think I pulled isolation.
Okay, you did. So we're going to show everybody this card. Okay, he did. So we're going to show everybody this card so you can see. Isolation is the story of Sapphire's blue, and he's blue. And because he's in his house, the fable goes that he's ready. He's ready, but he's not leaving his house. But I'm going to give you a tip. Remember in astrology we just said what opposes exposes?
Yes.
Take the word on the card and look at the opposite of isolation. It's shine. It's to get out there in the world. And what you want to do is you want to look at not just the word on the card because that's misleading. You want to come up with 3 words that card says to you. So if I'm, and a lot of times I do it with automatic writing, but in this case, 3 words are coming forward to me for you. Gentleman, spirited, and a walk. And so sometimes I just come up with the 3 words, and that means something to you. There's something about a gentleman in your life. Spirited. You need someone who understands your spirited nature, and you need to go for this walk. This is like, I'm feeling like almost like walk the plank in a funny way.
Yeah.
Because you have to do this. Like, even if it seems like you're going off the deep end in some of the stuff you're doing, this is your calling. You have to do this. And I think that if we look at this as those watching us right now, this message is for the people watching.
Yeah.
Because they have to walk off into the deep end and learn to swim. They're ready. Anybody who's listening to this, that's their message.
That's beautiful.
You know?
It's our message, actually.
It's our message
and
to you.
And I'll share with you, too. It's like, honestly, and this is a great way to wrap it up, too. I have spent the last 5 years in isolation. Developing, I might be on screen, but I am working 24 hours a day. I'm working almost 24 hours a day. I mean, I'm not complaining. I love it. It's my mission. God gave it to me, but I have been 100% isolated to create this world.
And you have to, and what that card says is, I'm ready.
I am ready.
Yeah.
And I literally was going to plan a trip across the country, and I'm starting right now to meet my viewers and fans. So I'm literally going on what I call a light walk.
Asheville.
I will. And I call it a light walk across America. How's that?
Come stay with me. I have an extra room.
Okay. Oh my God. I will. Okay, I will.
And we're talking.
The cards just spilled.
Whoa.
So and I will come, and I've
Good,
heard a
I'm
lot of
getting
great things about that area spiritually too. So I want to kind of follow the Bernie phenomenon a little bit and like get with the country waking up. And so your card was excellent. Thank you. And thank you for your wonderful stories and shares today.
I just love you.
Everyone, how do we now? Just internet-wise, because everyone's on the net. How do we find you on the net right now?
ChakraWisdomCards.com and Tori Hartman. My website is Tori, Tori, Hartman.com. And, of course, everything's available on Amazon, and, you get the best discounts.
ChakraWisdom.com. Okay. And they're beautiful cards. Take a look, folks. I'll share what I pull next on the air. Thank you. That was beautiful.